A dark ocean stretches infinitely. Waves crash ferociously, remnants emerge. Trees, debris, signs of an ancient world float forlornly. A stormy sky looms overhead, threatening yet beautiful. Camera rises to reveal a mountain cloaked in mist. Noah and his family stand, gazing at the transformed world. Deep male narrator. The flood was meant to erase everything. The violence. The corruption. Only Noah's family remained. One question lingers. If Nephilim existed pre-flood, why did giants return? Flashes of giant footprints, mysterious silhouettes, ancient manuscripts explode on screen. Genesis chapter 6 introduces the Nephilim, giants born of angels and humans. Biblical text differs from later interpretations and myths. This ancient tale speaks volumes about humanity's fears. Transitioning to Genesis chapters 9 to 10, we see a rebirth. Noah's descendants spread across the ancient Near East. They carry stories, legends of the giants. Here lies the mystery. How could giants or Nephilim appear post-flood? What remains of the ancient world and their genes? Dramatic aerial shots unveil vast landscapes fading into shadows. The camera dives into clouds, revealing ancient ruins. Narrator. Perhaps the flood didn't erase the giants' memory. Perhaps their story merely began. Cinematic sound design enhances the atmosphere. Thunder crashes, wind howls, and orchestral music swells. Have you ever wondered about the Nephilim? This biblical phrase sparks endless debate. Today, we're exploring their impact before and after the flood. Our goal is to uncover different interpretations of the Nephilim. First, let's create a visual backdrop. Begin with a parchment lit by firelight. Slowly reveal Genesis chapter 6 verse 4. Text appears clearly, inviting curiosity. Now, let's delve into the ancient world before the flood. Visualize enormous landscapes filled with powerful warriors. Create mysterious figures walking among ordinary humans. This imagery connects audiences with that time. Transition now to the world after the flood. Show Noah's descendants diligently rebuilding their lives. Visualize them planting crops and constructing stone buildings. Spread scenes throughout the Near East for depth. Focus closely on, and also afterward. This phrase carries significant weight. Next, let's present several historical interpretations of the Nephilim. The first possibility is their physical survival. Show giants towering over ordinary people. Then, depict their descendants surviving through generations. Use visuals to illustrate growth and connection. The third interpretation is later giant peoples. Show them being referred to as Nephilim by association. Use imagery to capture this connection vividly. Finally, suggest the verse may refer to another giant tradition. Present ancient manuscripts, highlighting Hebrew writing thoughtfully. Visualize scholars studying these texts deeply. Include maps of the ancient Near East to anchor viewers in place. As we wrap up, the narrator states, one sentence became the doorway to one of the Bible's greatest mysteries. This engages audiences and leaves them with questions. Conclude with a dramatic transition to the Book of Numbers. Show the powerful words, "We saw the giants," finally, fade into darkness, inviting viewers to reflect. The mystery of the Nephilim continues to inspire exploration and discussion. We encourage you to dive deeper into these interpretations and share your insights. Have you ever wondered about the spies sent into Canaan? This documentary will explore Numbers 13. By the end, you'll have a vivid understanding of this biblical moment. The Israelites stand at the edge of Canaan, filled with anticipation. Moses prepares to send 12 spies into the promised land. The sun rises, lighting up the vast terrain ahead. Next, our journey through ancient Canaan begins. We see majestic mountains and lush valleys. Fortified cities rise before us, showcasing human ingenuity. Vineyards stretch as far as the eye can see. Now, it's time to observe the powerful inhabitants. The spies quietly explore, fearful yet curious. Suddenly, they spot enormous warriors. Their breath quickens as fear grips them. Returning to the Israelite camp, the spies carry a massive cluster of grapes. The crowd gasps at the sight, wonder mixed with trepidation. The narrator explains Numbers 13, focusing on Nephilim and descendants of Anak. Here we focus on the spies' report and their perception of giants. Caleb and Joshua, brave and unwavering, disagree with the fearful majority. Tension rises in the camp as panic spreads like wildfire. The narrator adds, the flood was generations behind them. Yet the memory of giants had returned. The chaos intensifies. Voices overlap in confusion and fear. Let's visualize a dramatic map connecting the wilderness to Canaan. This transition highlights the journey and struggle ahead. Now we introduce the Anakim, key figures in giant lore from the Hebrew Bible. While some claim giants existed, we won't assert archaeological proof of literal gigantic humans. Our focus is on the narrative and its implications. To conclude, we find a close-up of an ancient footprint in the desert. Its size contrasts with the vast landscape around it. The camera slowly pulls back, emphasizing its insignificance beneath great mountains. As the screen fades to black, reflect on the courage demonstrated by Caleb and Joshua. Consider the lessons from this story in your life today. Now it's your turn to share and dive deeper into Numbers 13. Have you ever wondered who the Rephaim were? These ancient beings captivate our imagination. In this segment, we'll explore their historical significance. By the end, you'll understand the Rephaim's complex legacy. Let's dive in. Picture a moonlit landscape. The ancient lands east of the Jordan River stretch out. Dark silhouettes of enormous stone monuments loom above. Burial structures whisper secrets of the past. The Rephaim first appear in the Old Testament. Their meaning is complex, referring to both people and shades of the dead. They inhabited regions like the Kingdom of Bashan. Next, let's focus on King Og of Bashan. He is depicted in Scripture as a powerful ruler. However, let's keep our portrayal realistic, avoiding fantasy exaggerations. In Deuteronomy chapter 3, we find a fascinating description. It discusses Og's enormous bed, a noteworthy detail. This passage spurred traditions of giants throughout history. Now, visualize a massive ancient bed-like structure. It is crafted from iron or dark metal. Ordinary people stand beside it, highlighting its true scale. Narrator asks, was Og truly a giant of extraordinary size? Or merely an ancient warrior whose legacy grew over time? We need to look at both the biblical account and the debate around it. Perspectives vary, offering intriguing insights into ancient interpretations. As we conclude, let's appreciate the dramatic landscape of Bashan. A storm brews, with lightning illuminating the majestic mountains. Narrator concludes, then there was another giant warrior whose name became famous throughout history. Cut to the word. Goliath. Now you know about the Rephaim and their lasting impact. Use this knowledge to explore ancient narratives further. Thank you for joining us on this cinematic journey. Imagine two armies meeting in the valley of Elah. The air is thick with tension. Suddenly, Goliath strides onto the battlefield. His armor shines, and his spear glints menacingly. The biblical description inspires his towering presence. As the narrator unfolds 1 Samuel chapter 17, Goliath challenges the Israelites. Fear grips their hearts as soldiers retreat, terrified. Now, we see David, a young shepherd. He carries only his staff and sling. His humble appearance starkly contrasts Goliath's military might. David chooses not to wear armor. Tension builds as he approaches a nearby stream. He selects 5 smooth stones, one by one. The battlefield falls silent, awaiting the outcome. David steps forward confidently, ready to face Goliath. In slow motion, we see his sling rotate. The stone flies through the air, finding its mark. The giant falls, shockwaves through the battlefield. The narrator reflects, this story highlights the battle between the weak and the powerful. It kept alive the memory of giant warriors in ancient Israel. Though Goliath isn't explicitly named a Nephilim, he connects to ancient traditions. We see the legacy of giant myths unfold. As the screen fades, a dark map of ancient Philistia appears. Recall the encounter and its significance. Embrace the lessons of courage and faith in the face of giants. Have you ever wondered about the giant warriors of the Philistines? Today, we'll uncover their incredible stories. Our goal is to understand these legendary figures and their impact. Let's begin in the ancient Philistine territories. Imagine fortified cities bustling with activity. Warriors train, honing their skills for battle. Blacksmiths create weapons, crafting tools for war. Soldiers prepare, straightening their armor and sharpening their swords. Next, we introduce biblical passages about powerful warriors. These stories describe warriors of astonishing might. They were feared, admired, and often fought David's mighty men. David's warriors faced these giant-associated enemies with courage. One notable giant appears in 2 Samuel chapter 21. This warrior had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. Visualize him, an imposing yet realistic figure of strength. His story joins a broader tradition of extraordinary warriors. As the camera pans across ancient battlefields, we see shields, spears, and swords. Dust fills the air, highlighting the intensity of combat. The narrator shares, the Bible preserves traditions about powerful enemies who became symbols of fear. Could these giant tales reflect memories of elite warriors? Perhaps they recall unusually large individuals from past battles. It's a fascinating perspective, but we must avoid claiming archaeological proof of Nephilim. Finally, we conclude with ancient ruins disappearing beneath desert sand. The narrator states, but outside the Bible, another collection of writings tells a much darker story. In summary, we've explored the Philistine giants and their legends. These stories are woven into our history. We encourage you to discuss and share what you've learned. Have you ever wondered about ancient texts and their mysteries? Today, we will dive into the Book of Enoch. Our goal is to uncover the intriguing stories and traditions within. Imagine entering an ancient library illuminated by flickering oil lamps. The air is thick with the scent of old parchment. We see ancient scrolls and manuscripts unrolling slowly, revealing hidden secrets. Let's introduce 1 Enoch, an ancient Jewish work. It dramatically expands the Genesis chapter 6 narrative, giving us a deeper understanding. Now, we will explore the Watcher's tradition. Picture mysterious beings descending from the heavens. These Watchers are portrayed as supernatural creatures. They do not resemble modern fantasy characters. Instead, they convey an aura of ancient mystery. According to 1 Enoch, these Watchers fathered giant offspring with human women. Imagine these giants as violent beings, sowing chaos and corruption across the world. Their destructive actions lead directly to the ancient flood. Next, let's make an important distinction. The Book of Enoch is not included in the Hebrew Bible. It is also absent from most Christian biblical canons. Despite this, it holds significant historical and religious importance. As we explore, we will show ancient manuscripts and Ethiopian Christian traditions. Scholars debate and compare Genesis with Enoch. Narrator. Enoch does not simply repeat Genesis, it expands the mystery. We then consider a later interpretation. The spirits of the giants may have lingered after physical destruction. It's crucial to label this as part of the Enochic tradition, not biblical teaching. Finally, we see an ancient manuscript closing by itself. The screen fades to black, leaving you to ponder the mysteries explored today. Remember the stories and traditions we uncovered about the Book of Enoch. Take these insights and explore further. There is always more to learn about our ancient past. Have you ever wondered about the Nephilim's fate after the flood? Today, we'll explore intriguing theories around this ancient mystery. Our goal is to unveil deeper insights into this captivating topic. Picture a dark ancient landscape, shrouded in fog. Now, let's delve into our first theory. Some traditions suggest giants physically survived the flood. Visualize a small group escaping into distant mountains. This is a later speculation, not widely accepted. Next, we consider Theory 2. The Nephilim may not have survived. Instead, later giant peoples could be descendants or successors. Imagine generations of warriors passing down ancient stories. Moving to Theory 3. The word Nephilim in Genesis chapter 6 and Numbers 13 might differ significantly. We should not equate later groups, like Anakim and Rephaim, with Nephilim. See scholars examining Hebrew manuscripts for evidence. Now, let's explore our fourth theory. The spies' report could reflect exaggeration or storytelling. This means there may be no direct biological connection. As we discuss these theories, let's visualize key biblical passages. However, we won't overwhelm the screen with text. Narrator says, the mystery becomes clearer. We must separate scripture from later imagination. Next, visualize a timeline. Show Genesis chapter 6, followed by the flood. Then Genesis chapter 10, Numbers 13, Joshua, and David versus Goliath. Finally, depict later traditions fading into darkness. Conclude with the narrator. So if giants didn't survive, why do their shadows linger? This exploration has shown multiple perspectives on the Nephilim. Remember, ancient stories shape how we view our history. Now, it's your turn. What are your thoughts on the Nephilim? Have you ever wondered what happened to the Nephilim after the flood? In this tutorial, we will craft a captivating 5-minute cinematic conclusion. The end goal is to create an engaging narrative that leaves viewers intrigued. Begin with a breathtaking sunrise over the ancient Near East. Allow the visuals to set a peaceful yet mysterious tone. Slowly revisit major documentary locations like the mountains of Ararat and Canaan. Transition gently to the historic sites of Hebron and Bashan. Continue to the Valley of Elah and ancient Philistine territories. Show symbolic echoes of giant stories without making claims about historical proof. Introduce the narrator for the summary. The narrator will say, Genesis tells us of the Nephilim before the flood. Later biblical passages describe giant-associated peoples such as the Anakim and Rephaim. Pause briefly to let that information sink in. Then, let the narrator continue. Numbers places the Nephilim in the report of the spies. David faces Goliath. Ancient Jewish traditions such as 1 Enoch expand the story even further. Clearly emphasize the lack of archaeological evidence for surviving giants post-flood. State, the strongest historical conclusion is that the Bible preserves a complex tradition about powerful, feared, and extraordinary peoples. Return to the central question. Ask, what happened to the Nephilim after the flood? Follow that with a thoughtful answer. Explain, the Bible never gives us a simple sentence saying that the original Nephilim survived. Convey the mystery, saying, it leaves us with a world where stories of giants continued long after the flood. Show an ancient scroll being rolled closed. Transition as the camera pulls away from the ancient world. The stunning landscape should shrink beneath a vast, open sky. Draft the final narrator line, saying, perhaps the greatest mystery is not whether giants once walked the earth, but why their story has never disappeared. Build to a dramatic finale with orchestral music. On screen, display the text, the Nephilim after the flood. Follow with, the story continues before fading to black. Add subtle cinematic sound design and a final, deep musical impact to end the piece. Encourage viewers to share their thoughts and interpretations in the comments. Remember, the story of the Nephilim doesn't end here.